needs to maybe make the biggest strides moving forward? You know, the schedule's getting tougher. Defenses are going to be faster and bigger and throw different things at him. Where does he need to go?
As is always the case, we just got to play pitch and catch when it's there. We got to have, as windows close more quickly, whether it's man coverage or zone coverage, we have to have even better ball location. So I'd say that's the number one improvement he needs to make.
He's talked about, you know, trying to be more accurate with those things. Is that mental? Is it physical? Is it still kind of just trying to get timing down with the receivers?
I think timing to a certain degree. Again, we were trying to clean some stuff up physically, but overall it's a matter of timing.
I know he's kind of even keel, doesn't, you know, kind of keeps the same demeanor, but have you guys really tried to push him this weekend? Have you seen him respond?
Well, we're always pushing him, and you're right. He is even keeled, and that's what we want. We want our guys to never be too high nor too low. So he does a good job of having a solid temperament about him. But we're always on him to improve, and he has that mentality too. So it's not like we have to push him that hard.
Mike, I know the third down's always an emphasis for you guys,
yes.
But particularly this week, as there's so much talk about keeping Oregon's offense off the field. I mean, you've seen the guys taking the strides there that they need to become more effective on third down.
Yeah, it's a matter of focus for us all the time, but you're exactly right. With coming off the game last week, we weren't very efficient on third down, particularly in the first half. We need to do a better job. I need to do a better job of putting the guys in the right position and making sure that we execute.
How much of that is still Justin is experiencing a lot of those third down situations for the first time?
I don't, again, I don't want to place blame on any one individual. Again,
right.
Ultimately it falls on me, but there's a lot that goes into it. You know, we had some situations on Saturday where whether it was penalties or whatnot, where we didn't execute. And the bottom line is we need to execute in those situations to beat the caliber team we're going to be playing this week and beyond into the season.
So when you say you have to do a better job, what specifically do you need to do better for the offense on third down?
Well, when it comes to third down, it's about a number of things. Number one, getting the ball into the playmaker's hands. Number two, again, ideally you'd like to be in the perfect call. Is that always going to happen? No. Okay, so if it's not the perfect call, then we got to put the playmakers in a position to make those plays. So again, whether it's dialing up different guys' numbers or putting them in more favorable matchups, and then ultimately falls on me.
How do you balance controlling the ball, running the ball, and still trying to make big plays down the field?
It's something we stress all the time. Again, going back this past weekend, we had, I want to say, 4 or 5 explosive plus 16 passes, and we had 5 explosive runs of plus 12 of them, 5 total explosive plays of plus 20. So we stress to our guys, again, to be a playmaker, you have to do more than what the play is designed for. Make the difficult catch, jump over a defender to make the catch, make a guy miss in space, break a tackle, whatever it is. And that's usually what results in explosive plays. It's not necessarily throwing the ball 50 yards downfield and completing those bombs. It's a matter of athletes doing the exceptional, usually before that 20-yard mark.
How challenging is that against this defense?
They're very quick, they're very athletic, and particularly in the secondary, they're very good tacklers. So that is a challenge. They've done a great job. I think last year they were number 1 in the country in taking the ball away and creating turnovers, and this year they've continued along the same pattern. They do a great job of getting takeaways early, putting their offense in favorable positions. So we've been stressing, as it always is the case, we've been stressing ball security and not digging a hole like that.
What sticks out about the pass rush from what we've seen on film? It seems like a lot of sacks as well.
Well, they have great length in their defensive front, and they do a great job of block destruction, whether it's in the run game or the pass game. So they have their defensive ends are 6'7", I don't know, they're tall, let's put it that way, and they have long arms, so they can separate from offensive linemen and create a rush. They're very talented up front. Schematically, they bring pressures from a lot of different directions, so they can cause you some headaches and protections.
How well does this Tennessee team change tempos from the green light to the yellow light to the red light?
We've done a good job of changing tempos. And again, we monitor that quite a bit throughout the course of the game, and then obviously post-game. And we've executed, whether we're checking plays at the line of scrimmage or going fast. We've done a good job of kind of pushing the gas pedal and stepping on the brakes.
How important will the tempo be in this game?
Well, tempo is a huge part of our offense, and it's very important at all times. So whether it's Oregon or whether it's West Kentucky or Austin Peay, we're emphasizing that. We want to play with enough tempo.
Do you anticipate the noise level of the stadium affecting your guys' tempo with so many players being young, trying to get lined up?
mildly. You know, the noise level causes you to do some stuff procedurally and communicate procedurally that will slow you down a hair. But the reality is we still aim to move up tempo and keep the defense on their heels with how quickly we play.
Butch has been pretty candid about challenging the mental toughness of the team. What have you seen specifically on the offensive side of the ball, and how much, because of the noise and other factors, will that be tested this week?
Well, we responded today. I was happy to see that, especially coming off yesterday's practice. We challenged them come out today with an even greater focus to execute and perform the techniques and mechanics that we asked them to perform. So again, from Tuesday to Wednesday, it's been a big jump, and we'll continue to make that jump into Thursday. But I'm happy that these guys they want to be coached, they want to be challenged, and they're a good group of kids, and I like being around them. And when they're hungry for that type of process where they want to improve on a daily basis, it makes our job a little bit easier.
Just a couple more, guys.
I want to ask about the tight end H-back position you have. What Brendan is asked to do as far as lining up in 3 different spots, different plays, how mentally and physically taxing is it to find someone that's a good fit for that role?
Well, not very mentally taxing. The system's pretty easy to learn. The question becomes, does he have the skill set to execute at all those different positions? And he's a pretty talented athlete and can perform in all those positions. So, if it's maybe a lesser athlete, then you limit their role maybe out in space or something like that. But Brendan does a good job in all the different alignments we ask him to play.
You guys have